Let's get to some news in the Middle East now. The International Court of Justice says Israel's presence in Palestinian-occupied territories is illegal and should end. It is the top court's strongest finding to date on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but it is non-binding. CBC's Tom Perry has the details.
I'm just going to give you a bit of background first. This is an advisory opinion by the International Court of Justice. It came at the request of the UN General Assembly. Now, that request came in late 2022, so before the October 7th attack and before Israel's military campaign in Gaza. So the question was, what are the legal consequences of Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory, so in the court's view, the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem? Today, we heard from the president of the court, Judge Nawaf Salam from Lebanon. He read out the opinion. He first rejected arguments put forward by some countries, including Canada, that the court should not deliver an opinion. He said there was no compelling reason for it not to. And from there, Salam laid out the court's opinion, and it is quite comprehensive. So I can read it to you here. The court found Israel's presence in the occupied territories is a violation of international law. It says Israel's policies of building settlements in occupied territories is a violation of the Palestinian people's right to self-determination. It says Israel has an obligation to put an end to what it calls these unlawful acts, to cease all new settlement activity, end its occupation as soon as possible, and pull settlers out of the occupied lands. The court also says that Israel has an obligation to provide reparations and restitution to the Palestinian people affected by the occupation, to return the land and property seized from them. And I think, do we have a clip here of Judge Salam as he read out this opinion today? Because I wanted to give you an idea of the tone and the language that he used. Okay, we don't have that clip. So as I say, a pretty comprehensive opinion from the court coming out with some very strong findings about Israel's occupation, what it means in terms of international law. As I say, though, this just came out. We're going to get the official ruling, the readout of it off the court's website pretty soon, and hopefully, see some reaction to this, because I'm sure there's going to be some.
Right. It is breaking, and we really appreciate you breaking down what we know so far, Tom. But as you've said, this is an opinion. It's non-binding. It's at the request of the UN General Assembly. So does it actually have any impact?
Does it have any impact? Well, you're right. It's not a ruling. It's not a verdict. It's an opinion, and it's non-binding. So, as I said, this request came before what we've seen on October 7th and since then. But I guess at the time, the hope from the Palestinian side was that this opinion would carry political weight, that it would put more pressure on Israel to negotiate a two-state solution. And perhaps now, with what we're seeing in Gaza, the hope might be that this might put more pressure on the Israelis and on Hamas and everyone involved to agree to a ceasefire. I guess we'll have to wait and see what weight this does carry, what impact it has. But again, opinion, not a verdict, and a non-binding opinion at that.
CBC's Tom Perry in London.